Hey guys, so this is going to be Gameweek 4 and 5 review and Gameweek 6 preview video. I'm so glad that Gameweek 4 and 5 together I'm doing in this video because 4 was a bit of a disaster and 5 was the best game week so far, and it was a bit of a redemption. And yeah, my rank went up much higher from where I was when I recorded the last video. So obviously, that makes me really happy. And so let's start with game week 4. Ramsdale, he continues to hurt me. He did when I did not have him last season. This year when I have him, he has just stopped making saves. It's 6 or 2 or 1. It's just been, he's just been like Robert Sanchez of last season. And Robert Sanchez has been the Ramsdale of this season. He has been costing me rank every week. And I currently do not have any Brighton defense cover also, which is not a very ideal situation right now. And it's very much justified that a lot of people are moving out from Ramsdale. They're transferring a Sanchez in place of Ramsdale. It makes sense. So does Gabriel, whose error led to Arsenal conceding, and then Gabriel scored Arsenal's winning goal as well. Saliba had the assist. Those who had Zinchenko, he of course did not play because he was injured. They got some points off the bench as well. And Ramsdale was the one, who got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 17-pointer. Goal and assist. Said in the last video, don't sell him. Chelsea with a narrow win over Leicester. Reece James with a 1-pointer in spite of actually not coming off the bench. And once again, I did not see the game. Was he playing right centre back or was it forward the back? I don't remember exactly, but it's not ideal where he has been playing. But they are signing Wesley Fofana, so that should make sure that if Reece James is in the Chelsea lineup, he most of the games he's going to play at right wing back. So that is probably not going to be a problem going forward. Palace again scored 2 versus City like last season. That game was a bit of a disaster for me as well because I had Laporte and he got sent off in that game. This one was a bit of a horror show as well, as both my City defenders got poor returns. They lost the clean sheet in the second minute itself, and then they conceded another one. And City did not lose either. So it was the worst possible outcome, in my opinion, as a Liverpool fan, and for my FPL team as well. And Nico Williams, yes, I played him against Spurs. He played well. He played well yet again. Almost scored a goal. But Spurs were eventually a bit more rigid and stronger. And they scored 2 goals. Could have got more. And Nico, in spite of playing so well, he almost, just after Harry Kane missed that penalty, he had a volley, which narrowly went wide. And in spite of all that, he just managed 1 point in the end. I did have the option of playing Solimarch instead, who got 3. Which means, playing Nico cost me 2 points. But that is fine. I was really keen on playing him in that game. And yeah, that is why I play FPL. Martinelli had a fairly poor game, I'd say, against Fulham. He got just 2 points. And I played just 2 midfielders. The other one, Salah. Now Salah was, he was playing as Bournemouth, probably the worst defense in the league. And he, like me, he was captained by, most of the FPL players, and Liverpool scored 9 goals and Salah just returned 3 points. That is a shocker. Absolute shocker. No Salah return, not even an assist. He actually had chances. If he took those chances, maybe Liverpool would have probably won, 11 or 12-0. but he missed some really good chances. And yeah, it was just one of those days, I guess, where the ball would just not go inside, and it did not worry me a whole lot. It was just, it was just bad luck, you have to say. The only positive was that Jesus did worse. He got 1 point only. He got booked and he blanked. He was the only other player in my team with an effective ownership of more than 100, and which basically means you are hoping that, in spite of owning him, if you are not captaining him, you're hoping that that player scores as less as possible. Okay, so Erling Haaland, of course, scored his first hat trick, first of the two, but thankfully, not many captained him. His active ownership was actually less than 100, so that gained me rank. And finally, new signing Ivan Toney, just 2 points, hit the bar, and that pretty much summed up my week. A lot of bad luck, a lot of variance here and there, and a red arrow, first red arrow of the season, which dropped me to around 3.6 millions from 2.9 million. 2.9 millions, yeah. So that's like, how much? That's like 700k rank drop, which is not bad, but not ideal. No one wants red arrows, right? So, yeah. And then came, of course, Gameweek 5. And brilliant week. Ramsdale conceded again, of course. Another 2-pointer. No safe points again. And he's currently flagged. We have to see, we have to wait for the press conference to know if he was just having cramps or, if it was actually a hamstring injury, which obviously would rule him out for a few weeks at least. I'm not happy with this pick at all right now. Sanchez, those who have Sanchez are gaining rank every week in that particular position. And yeah, I'm just not very keen on holding him for very long if he keeps on, not making saves. It's just a boring pick in my opinion. And yeah, and Trent with a 2-pointer this week. All I have to say is, yet again, don't sell Trent. Absolutely do not sell Trent. Sell Robertson, but do not sell Trent Alexander-Arnold. Cancelo with his first goal of the season, and what a strike. For a reason he has been given that number 7 jersey. He has not been playing that well according to a lot of people, and yeah, his positioning has not been that good, but in my opinion I think he has done fairly okay. Defensively he has been a liability sometimes, but yeah, a player like that, who bombs forward so much, and he can always return big scores, and City do keep a lot of clean sheets. 1 clean sheet and 1 return, a double digit haul. I think it's a 7 million for Cancelo is a very, very fair price. And like Trent, all I have to say is do not sell Joao Cancelo. As simple as that. Kyle Walker, my double City defense with a clean sheet. Walker, 3 clean sheets in 5. Not bad at all. I was not expecting him to, do so well. I was expecting, getting pulled off at around 45 minutes, not starting games. That has not happened. So yeah, very happy with this pick so far. Very consistent. Now Reece James missed out. The news was already out before the deadline, but it's always fun to have some points off the bench, and the 6-pointer from Andres Pereira was lovely. Now Fulham are playing really, really well, and I think Pereira is playable every week. If it is not against one of the top 4-5 teams, he's a proper attacking midfielder, playing for a team that likes playing football, that has a striker who is capable of scoring goals, and Pereira takes some set pieces. He takes some shots, and he's always involved in the game. So if they're not playing one of the top 4 or 5 teams, we can very well start him. The price, 4.5 million price tag simply does not mean that he's going to be the bench fodder all the time. I think both Nico Williams and Andres Pereira, when they have, decent fixtures, and I think that they should be, at least, you could be starting them in place of probably someone who has mixed fixtures and you're not 100% sure about. So coming into the midfield now, Martinelli, I did not see the game. I'm not sure how well he played, but 10 pointer, so very happy with that. He scored the winning goal, three bonus points as well. The new signing of this week was Jack Harrison. Solimash did not last very long. I could sell Da Silva as well, but I decided to sell Solimash because that releases a bit more funds, and Da Silva is, he has a bit more potential to go up in price. So, and that would give me, 0.1 million of selling price. So then I'll probably let him go. I'm waiting for that. So, but Harrison was so poor. It was a difficult pick between Rodrigo and Harrison. To be very honest, I did not consider Brandon Aronson, and kudos to everyone who went with him. He got an assist, and he actually looked much better than Harrison in this game. And Harrison was so poor in this game. His passing was bad. His dribbling, every time he tried to go past someone, is blocked. His crosses were stopped. They went out for corners. He took the corners. The corners were incredibly poor. Knee lengths. Some of them were overhit. Some of them were hit straight to the keeper. And he's one. I'm not worried about his minutes because he's one of the key members of that Leeds starting 11. But he has to be better. In terms of FPL, that's 2 points. But in terms of performance, that probably should have been -2. He was so bad in that game. And hoping, Leeds do have some pretty good fixtures going forward. I'm hoping that, he can put up the kind of performances that actually made me buy him, because on the basis of last season, I really did not rate Jack Harrison that much, but he was actually very good in the first few games, and I am hoping he can repeat that going forward. Mo Salah, and then Mo Salah. This was the first week of major captaincy variance, and for a while everyone who had Salah as their captain were so disappointed with Erling Haaland doing so well. Eventually, of course, Salah got 2 assists and he ended up with 10 points, which was not bad at all. On the flip side, of course, Haaland scored a hat-trick, 17 points. But eventually, if you captained Haaland and you had Salah, most people have both of them. Almost everyone has both of them. And if you captained Haaland, you just scored 7 points less, which is not a big deal, as it could have been. It could have been a big deal if Salah had blanked, but 10 points from Salah to one was a decent assist. The second one just came off his back. Carvalho scoring that late winner. It felt so good, the young lad. As a Liverpool fan, I think that was a fantastic moment to see him score that winning goal. I did not really care about, Salah probably dropping me a bit in terms of rank, but anyway, his effective ownership was less than 100, so I actually gained rank when Salah scored good points. So anyway, it did not matter in the end. Jesus with a goal, 6 points. His effective ownership was actually more than 100, just more than 100. I think it was 100.4 or something, which means the lesser his scores, of course, the better it is. And he scored a goal, but that did not cost me that much. And finally, Ivan Toney with another blank, and he got booked as well. He looked frustrated in that game, and just 1 point. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. it was a very good week overall. A mammoth 91 points. Rank jumped 2 million straight from 3.6 to 1.6 millions. That was a big leap. And guys, this is how close things are. I gained 25 points this week, and that gained me 2 million worth of rank. Can you imagine? So we can basically say, it's like, 1.25 points is like 100k ranking, which is, if you consider that, if you are sitting in 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, it's nothing. You can recover that rank very, very quickly. So just relax, and be patient. Don't make rash calls. Don't think that I'm far behind, so I have to go for a squad which is very, very different from the template. Just stick around. Just stick around and wait for your opportunities. The template, the best thing about a template is that it always breaks. There is going to be rotation when Champions League starts. There are going to be injuries. There are going to be suspensions and things like that. It is going to break, and you just have to be opportunistic. And as simple as that. Find your opportunities and hit them. And don't, overthink. So yeah, this is it for the review. Now let's get into Gameweek 6. Keeper call is a bit of a toss currently. Not sure if Ramsdale is going to play, and I'm not very sure Danny Ward is going to play either. Of course, he started all the Premier League games so far, but Leicester are playing so bad right now, and when a manager has his job on the line, he makes unnecessary calls sometimes. And Ward has not kept a single clean sheet so far. He has been shaky. And who knows, Iverson has actually won Leicester a penalty shootout, and he might just come in next game week. If Leicester lose the next one, I think Rodgers could be off. He could be sacked. And so yeah, I mean, this is something to monitor. If Ramsdale is confirmed out, I may consider letting go of one of the two keepers. I'm not sure if it's going to be Ramsdale, but I'll, you sort out your problems first. I don't want to be down to 10 men. I've seen this before. Both my goalkeepers doing really well in 1 week, and the one on the bench doing better, and then 1 week where one doesn't play, the other one doesn't play as well. And that is why I do not really like having two keepers from two different teams. So let's see. I'm not even sure whom I'm going to buy. Probably Sanchez. So this is something to consider based on team news. In defense, Reece James is back fit in training. I think I read it somewhere on Twitter. He should play against West Ham, and he's got his rest as well. And yeah, now it's Fofana coming in. Fofana is probably going to play right centre back, which means Reece James is going to be right wing back. And if he plays there, I think it's very much similar to Trent and Cancelo. He's likely to be rotated a little more in the long run, but yeah, again, a simple tip: do not sell Reece James. And I'm not that confident in Kyle Walker this week. Now Cancelo did come off early again in the last game, so I'm guessing that he's going to start against Aston Villa. And Kyle Walker, he has played 90 minutes in both of the last two games. He actually played at centre back for a while. So yeah, he could start, he may not start. And I'm not 100% sure that City are going to keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa. Of course, I'm going to back Aston Villa. I'm going to back Steven Gerrard. I don't want Gerrard to get sacked. This is probably a game where I would want to see Aston Villa making a turnaround and finish off the job that they could not in the last game of last season. And so yeah, at the moment I'm benching Kyle Walker, but he could go. There is a possibility that I sell him off. There is a strong possibility that Kyle Walker has actually played his last game in my team. Even if I don't make a transfer this week, I don't sell Walker, I might sell him next week. So yeah, let's see how it goes. The big surprise, of course, you can see Nico Williams is my captain at the moment in the bus team. I'm so happy for him. As a Liverpool fan, I feel so proud to see him doing, you know, so well at his new club. And this is a tricky week for the captaincy. And I'm not sure he's going to be the captain at the deadline, but yeah, I'm seriously considering it. And it's not even, for the clicks and likes and stuff like that. I'm genuinely considering him as a captain. He has looked so good so far. And Nottingham Forest, they have not been great defensively, but they're not conceding a lot of goals. And Henderson is keeping a lot of shots out. He's getting safe points. That's okay, but Nico Williams has a strong possibility of getting attacking returns. It's due. It is going to come eventually. And next three fixtures for Nottingham Forest are really good. And Bournemouth is probably their easiest fixture at home, especially. It's going to be their easiest fixture all season. And if you want to captain someone from Nottingham Forest in a week where the other options are all, a bit of dicey, why not? So yeah, let's see if I have the courage to hold on to it at the deadline. Mo Salah, Merseyside derby. It's an early kickoff, which I just do not like for captaincy. It's a myth. A lot of people are going to say it's a myth. Yeah, it's a myth because we do see people scoring goals in the early kickoff, which is quite obvious. But it's a psychological thing. If your captain blanks in the very first game of the week, you just spoil your Premier League watching experience for rest of the week, and it's no fun. If you're watching a Man City game thereafter with Salah having blanked, it's not going to feel good. So, and anyway, I'm not expecting this to be a high scoring game. Everton are playing 5 at the back. They're very defensive at the moment, and yeah, that is why I'm not very keen on captaining Salah this week. Martinelli, United away. He has done really well for me so far. No complaints. Ever since coming in on the wild card, he was not my first choice pick, but absolutely no complaints. He has comprehensively outscored Bukayo Saka, who was the only other Arsenal midfielder I was considering. And yeah, template pick, but he keeps on delivering, so that's fine. Jack Harrison, my latest signing. None of my transfers have worked so far. Solly March I already sold, 2 blanks for Tony, and Harrison with a really poor performance in the last game. Let's see how well it does. Brentford away is definitely not an easy fixture, but Leeds do have, after that they have good fixtures, so hopefully in the long run he can come good. And 3 up front. Tony against Leeds. Can he score finally? Leeds are quite poor in the air, and Tony is an aerial threat. At least score from a corner. Can he outscore Mitrovic finally? Small margins. Anyone who went with Mitrovic instead of Tony is laughing at the moment. And Jesus plays Man United. He could score. I won't be surprised if Arsenal beat Man United. I won't be surprised if Man United beat Arsenal either. He's the second guy who'd be, a popular captain pick. I'm not considering him currently because, again, I'm not really expecting a high-scoring game here. I think it's going to be a bit of a tactical battle, and we might see a 1-0 to 1 kind of a game, or maybe a draw as well. It could be anything. And finally, Haaland. Now, he would be the obvious captain pick after back-to-back hat-tricks. The problem is, does he start? Not sure. City plays Sevilla away to begin their Champions League campaign 3 days before, playing against Aston Villa away from home as well. Do they need to risk him? Of course, he's scoring goals, he has the momentum, and I'm very sure he's desperate to play. He would be desperate to, start that game. But City did rest Kevin De Bruyne against Nottingham Forest. So why they would not rest Haaland when required? And even after Champions League, City plays Spurs, where obviously Haaland would start. Then they've got a League Cup game against Chelsea, where he may not start, but he may be needed eventually. So this is, I think, the best opportunity that they have to give him a proper rest. If he plays, but the problem is, even if he comes off the bench, he plays 25 minutes, he could score a hat trick, and and then considering whether he starts or not becomes absolutely an irrelevant joke. I am not captaining Haaland right now, but yeah, it's true. His effective ownership is going to be very, very high, and this is a risk that I am willing to take going against the template. And but yeah, if I get any kind of a hint that he's starting, then it's a no-brainer. I think he's going to trouble that Aston Villa defense, whether he gets 60 minutes, 65 minutes, or 30 minutes or 25 minutes. But if it's a no-show or a one-pointer, there is a chance of that as well. So that is why I'm not captaining him right now. As of now, it is on Nico Williams, who is... The reason is very simple for me. I think he has very high ceiling in this game. And yeah, I'm just hoping for the best. It's a game of prediction, and I'm predicting that Nico Williams is going to score his first goal of the season, and maybe Nottingham are going to keep a clean sheet. And predictions could be right, could be incorrect, and that is completely fine, and that is FPL. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, I have not been using the graphics in last two videos. I've just been a little caught up. There is a lot of construction work going on at my home, and it's going to continue for a while. But they will be back soon. They will be back. And finally, as always, come to Twitter. We can talk football. If you like my content, help in spreading. Do subscribe if you can. Takes absolutely nothing. Takes a click. That's all. Helps me reach out a little more. And yeah, I'll see you the next time. That's it.